Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lay a serene yet muddy lake. The waters were murky, filled with silt and mud, a place where one might not expect to find beauty. It was a landscape of challenges, where the water's surface rarely reflected the sky due to the constant churning of mud and debris. But even in this seemingly unremarkable place, life thrived in its own unique way. Fish swam through the thick waters, and reeds and grasses waved gently in the breeze, accepting the lake's murky embrace. This was a place where struggle was a part of everyday existence. Yet it was also a place where something extraordinary was about to unfold. Deep beneath the muddy waters, hidden from the world's view, a tiny lotus seed lay dormant. It had been there for a long time, nestled in the thick mud, waiting for the right moment to awaken. One day, with a gentle nudge from the warmth of the sun and the caress of the water, the seed began to stir. It sprouted a tiny shoot that pushed upwards, striving to reach the surface. The journey was not easy. The little lotus had to navigate through the dense mud and debris, but it was determined, driven by an inner strength and an instinctive need to grow. Slowly but surely, the little lotus bud began its ascent, inching its way towards the light. As the lotus bud continued its arduous journey, a gentle light began to pierce through the murky water. It was night, and the full moon hung high in the sky, casting a silver glow over the lake. The moonlight penetrated the surface of the water, reaching down to the struggling bud. For the first time, the lotus felt the touch of the moon's gentle light. It was a moment of pure magic, as the bud seemed to glow softly under the moon's watchful gaze. This light was a silent promise, a beacon of hope that whispered encouragement to the little lotus. "Keep going," it seemed to say, "for beauty lies ahead." The days turned into weeks, and the little lotus continued its upward climb. But the journey was fraught with challenges. The mud was thick and heavy, often threatening to pull the delicate shoot back down. Storms would rage above the surface, their fury churning the waters below, making the climb even more difficult. There were times when the lotus felt as if it couldn't go on, when the weight of the mud and the darkness seemed too overwhelming. Yet, each night, the moon would appear, casting its soothing light over the lake, reminding the lotus of the beauty and purity that awaited it. Encouraged by this nightly vigil, the lotus pressed on, its roots growing stronger, its stem more resilient with each passing day. Night after night, the moon continued to shine its gentle light on the lake, and each night, the little lotus found renewed strength. The moon, with its serene and constant presence, became a silent mentor to the struggling flower. Though it never spoke, its luminous glow seemed to convey a message of unwavering support. "Do not give up," the moon's light seemed to say. "Your journey is difficult, but you are destined for greatness." This encouragement from above filled the lotus with hope, pushing it to grow taller and reach higher despite the adversity surrounding it. Finally, after much perseverance and countless nights under the moon's watchful eye, the little lotus broke through the surface of the water. It emerged into the cool night air, its delicate petals unfurling to reveal a stunning blossom. The lotus was a vision of pure beauty, its vibrant colors standing out against the dark, muddy waters below. The moon, as if in celebration, shone even brighter that night, casting a silver halo around the blooming flower. The lotus had overcome every challenge, rising above the mud to reveal its true, radiant self. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the strength and resilience that lay within. As the lotus stood tall and proud, the moon's light reflected off the calm surface of the lake, creating a breathtaking scene. The lotus's image was mirrored in the water, surrounded by shimmering silver light. This reflection was a beautiful dance of light and nature, a reminder of the harmony that could exist even in the most unlikely places. The lake, once seen as merely muddy and murky, now held a new kind of beauty. It was a canvas for the moon and the lotus, a place where purity and light could shine despite the darkness below. This magical reflection drew the attention of all who saw it, casting a spell of awe and admiration. However, not everyone was quick to celebrate the lotus's triumph. Among the reeds and grasses, whispers of doubt began to circulate. How can something so beautiful come from such muddy waters? They murmured. Is it truly pure, or is it tainted by the mud from which it came? These doubts and questions floated through the lake, casting shadows on the lotus's newfound glory. The lotus, hearing these whispers, began to feel a pang of uncertainty. Could it be true? Could its beauty be overshadowed by its origins? The moon, noticing the lotus's doubt, prepared to offer its wisdom and light once more, ready to dispel the darkness that had begun to creep into the flower's heart. Seeing the lotus troubled by the whispers of doubt, the moon decided to share its wisdom. As the night grew darker, the moon's light grew stronger, bathing the lake and the lotus in a soothing glow. Dear lotus, the moon's light seemed to say, do not let the words of others dim your radiance. Your beauty is not diminished by the mud from which you came. Rather, it is enhanced by the adversity you have overcome. True purity and beauty are not defined by origin, but by the journey and the strength to rise above challenges. These words filled the lotus with a renewed sense of purpose and understanding, reminding it of the strength that had brought it this far. Embracing the moon's wisdom, the lotus began to accept its journey and origins with pride. It realized that the mud and murk were not stains on its beauty, but rather the very foundation that had given it life and strength. This acceptance brought a newfound resilience to the lotus. It stood taller, its petals opening wider to the moon's light, fully embracing its place in the world. The doubts that had once clouded its heart dissipated, replaced by a sense of inner peace and confidence. The lotus understood that its beauty was a testament to its perseverance and the purity of its spirit, regardless of where it had come from. As the lotus's confidence grew, so did the admiration from the other inhabitants of the lake. The reeds and grasses, once skeptical, began to see the lotus in a new light. They marveled at its strength and the sheer determination it had shown in reaching the surface and blooming so magnificently. The fish swam closer to catch a glimpse of the radiant flower, and even the water, reflecting the moon's light, seemed to shimmer with newfound respect for the lotus. The lake, once just a murky body of water, had become a backdrop for the lotus's story of triumph and beauty. The other plants and creatures began to recognize that true beauty often comes from overcoming adversity. And so, the lotus continued to bloom night after night, illuminated by the moon's gentle light. It stood as a symbol of resilience and purity, its petals a testament to the strength that had carried it through the darkest depths of the muddy lake. The whispers of doubt were long gone, replaced by songs of admiration and respect. The lotus had shown that true beauty is not about where you come from, but about how you rise above and flourish despite the challenges. The moon and the lotus shared a silent bond, a story written in light and water, a timeless lesson that purity and beauty can indeed bloom even in the most unlikely of places. And thus, the lotus's legacy lived on, a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who encountered it. If you enjoyed this story and feel inspired by the journey of the lotus, I invite you to explore more tales of inspiration and perseverance on our channel. We have many more stories that will uplift your spirit and encourage you to find beauty in your own journey. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again for more stories of hope and triumph.